Good morning, and thanks a lot back, Pat, for being with us today. We have been like chasing each other for last couple of months, and we are not able to like have a schedule due to all the stuff that you were involved in. So yeah, I'm really glad that we are finally able to make it today. Thank you very much.
Oh, welcome. And of course, everybody is busy and everybody has unexpected work, and it's fine. We have to be flexible now in this generation.
Yeah. So that's we know each other as far as I can remember since the beginning of 2022, from I believe January, and I still remember that Lindsay asking me, Rashid, do you have want to mention? So my like spontaneous response was, why not? Then I believe she ran it through to Joe, and then both of them decided to pair you with me, and you kindly agreed to mentor me. So for last 1 year, you know, you know or don't know, I'm not sure, but you had a profound impact, not only in my personal life, professional life, but also in my personal life as well. And that's why I just wanted to record some of our journeys together, as well as your journey. That's very important. You, as a person, how do you think about the whole youth entrepreneurship thing, whole youth of empowerment thing? Because the last time I checked, I remember you said in a way that your vision is to help your youth to discover their world of businesses, especially the underprivileged youth. So, what makes you like think in that way? And if there is any personal incident from where you were motivated to do this, so yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Rashid. Um, yeah, interesting question. And definitely it was very challenging journey, actually, to come to this point so far. And yeah, about my story, why I started in this privilege. When I returned hometown from my university, I graduated from the Istanbul University in Turkey. And when I'm back home here in Mongolia, I found out that many young people are kind of isolated from this policy level decision making and entrepreneurship, as well as like starting business and generating their own jobs. And even they are not sure like what kind of jobs they need to enter. And it was very difficult for those young people to understand the direction of their lives and even in about their future career. So it was totally different, actually, what I was expecting in my hometown. Then I decided to start, and even for me, it was the same situation. I actually returned, and then I was wanting to get a job here, and it was very messy, complex issue to, and even no idea, no information about available jobs and available entrepreneurship opportunities. And I tried to find out some important data or news or information and what I can do. However, we were lack of this kind of information and data. Then I decided, and actually just this young people also, they asked me like many questions about the different countries and just what are the cases and experiences or practices in other countries. And therefore I understood that, okay, I need to do something for even these young people. And it's like they were not the many, just young, about young people, the old people were also complaining about them, like, oh, they are very lazy, they don't do anything. Even they, they are not smarter than as us or something like that. So it's a very traditional, thoughts among the older people and senior people, actually, because Mongolia was in a transition from the communism and the planned economy to a free market economy, and people were always like trying to understand like in what they are in and how they survived in this transition. Because actually, the most of Mongolian people, they didn't have any properties when we completed the communism, when it collapsed the communism, and the people didn't have properties. People didn't have intellectual properties. Even they don't know human rights, the concept, and just the communism. They forbidden the religious rights and the human rights. And also, there was a traditional concept like you cannot say anything to a senior people as a young person, and you have to respect senior people and their thoughts, even it's right or wrong, don't matter. And so young people were not active, and they were not. It's not like they were not engaged in decision making, and they were just following the senior people's words. And if it's mistake, failure, it's a fault of young people. So they started to feel like a fear of it's like a fear of failure, and they had a big confusion about decision making, about their life journeys, and even how to say they were not. The senior peoples also asked for perfectionism, or how to say, and the young people were lacking practice and experiences, so they were not perfect, and so there is a huge gap between this young senior people with not old fashioned, like planned economy mindset, and young people with a free market mindset, but there is a huge gap. So I decided to engage these generations at the same time to help those especially disadvantaged young people who couldn't get an education, who couldn't get a chance to start their business or social and economic terms. And so then 15 years ago, we launched this NGO Development Solutions, and to promote youth participation in entrepreneurship and employment journey.
Well, that's an exciting journey. So if I'm correct, if I able to understand the whole thing correctly, it was also like your personal pain point, right? When you came back from Istanbul, you didn't have that direction. Then societal status quo was there. Like whatever the senior says, you have to abide by this. You can't go beyond the whole that line. So that will also exist for you as well, right? Even if you are not from a underprivileged background, right?
Yeah, definitely. And in Istanbul, it's a big trade city, commercial city. And if you can work your brain well, you can survive, you can thrive, you can be successful. And but here in Mongolia, when I'm back here, just even you are not successful, you are not smarter than others. The government just providing social benefits, and old people, young people, they are considering about how to get these big benefits from the government, not considering about employment and self-employment as well. And even you are unemployed, just your family, your parents say, "Oh, you have to follow my word. I will provide food money, food allowance, or just something like that." So, and the many young people, I found out that many young people staying with their parents, actually, their parents feeding them. Then I said, no, it's impossible. But when I looked at the roots of the causes of this situation, I found out they are not enough. They don't have enough superpower actually to take a responsibility for their life, and all were engaged and dependent on their parents or senior people. So but more than 40% of Mongolian population are young aged, the youth people, and even though how to say, about 40% of those youth again, from the rural area, and they are very disadvantaged, vulnerable. And because Mongolia is, at the same time, Mongolia is a nomadic country, and there are a lot of nomadic herders that are almost half of the population are nomadic herders in the rural areas. And the senior herders, actually, they always think who will continue, who will inherit their herding lifestyle. Of course, their children, especially the sons. And young males have no choice to stay at home. But the girls go to school, but the males stay at home to look after all this herding, farming, and
Okay. So you were the rebel. You went against the whole cultural stuff, and you challenged all the status quo, like that thing, that stuff that I have to abide by whatever I learned from my seniors, no matter whether they are right or wrong. So you rebel, challenged all this stuff, and as a fruit of that, you established Development Solution Mongolia. And a few days earlier, you celebrated. It's been 15 years, and big congratulations to you and the team. So you are currently acting as the Chief Advisor of Development Solutions Mongolia, and you started 11 years back. You were the Executive Director. So over the period of last 15 years, how has the organization evolved to meet the need of youth, and what were the major milestones in the evolving process?
Oh, well, yes. Of course, Development Solutions, this organization should consider its own capacity building before it supports and promotes youth participation. And therefore, we actually, our colleagues, we were very well committed on this initiative, and we understood, and we really believe that this organization can help young and disadvantaged people, and therefore we actually planned a committed strategy to build a good capacity for development solutions and the first phase of its establishment. And we had a challenging journey because to find out how we can help those young people. And of course, about me, I cannot do anything, all things. I'm not perfect as well, and even we are 3, 4, 10, 20, we are not enough for all these young people. But we have to find out what is the key points, what's the key skills or key capacity to help those young disadvantaged people, and then we try to actually build our own capacity, or equip these skills, and entrepreneurship, employment, and of course we don't want to go out of the box, to the line. We are an NGO. We cannot be a part of this big policy organization, and because we want to be more independent, and we don't want to be a part of this government agency. We don't want to be a part of these interest groups. But the capacity building was also you would have to pay, and it's not free.
Yes.
So the self-reliant organization model was very important for us. And then we all started to equip ourselves in studying what would be the future directions for our organization. And then we find out some important things like technology, the skill, the mindset development. At the same time, the climate change issues in Mongolia, we have huge harsh weather situations now. After that, well-capacitated organization, the people started to recognize us. The government agencies, youth, young people, local authorities, international development organizations, and they all say, "Oh, this organization, these development solutions can partner with us in Mongolia, in Asia, and the region." And then we became a member of Youth Business International in 2013, and it actually improved us very well and upgraded all the services we provide for young people. And we closely work with the ministries now, and we are implementing a big projects with it's all financed by international donor organizations. But recently we started the third phase. It's about like how to evolve our own values and all this gathered skills. So it's about the evolving strategy. Like we cannot we cannot sit in one place. We need to go around. And there is an interesting Mongolian word saying like, foolish people always sit in one place, and the different thing, in opposite.
Okay.
But smart people sit in one place, and foolish people go around. But it is at the end, the foolish people find something. And always people say, "Oh, this organization must be in line with this vision, but sometimes we have to seek outside the box. Say we don't want to be the same place for a long time, or the all night. In this changing situation in the world, our organization should be changed at the same time. And not following, but pioneering this change. It's important for us. So we have this big journey to create new competitive advantages with the development programs, as well as like the tactics that we'll use achieve what we are expecting in this space.
So in that case, if I have like understood it properly, is that even right now you're going through more of a like self-reflection, that you have taken a step back and you're assessing your own position right now, and from there, what are the areas where you can be like the pioneer? Like this is the like strategic reorientation that you are having right now. So in this process, I have a question: is that for non-profits, financial sustainability is always being a big issue. So how do you tackle the whole concept of financial sustainability in development partners when they start talking about different projects? They ask the question that how are you sustainable beyond these few projects? So what is your strategy for this?
Yeah. So this strategy, especially financially sustainability, is very important part of these organizations. So long lives, when we had an audit many years ago, just in the beginning of the years, our auditor asked us, if you don't have any development programs without any finance, like how can you continue all the services? And we just stuck our colleagues, and okay, we don't have money, and so, but how we can serve all of these disadvantaged young people? Who will help us? Then she's actually told us like, just self-reliance, of course, is very important, but you have to keep in mind that you have to be sustainable at the same. Then, therefore, we decided with our government board members, actually discussed with them for a long time, and special thanks to them, the very valuable people in our government board, and most of them were from the banking sector, or the money sector. So theirs are more commercial, but ours are non-profits. However, they give me a very interesting recommendation, like just to establish a funded source for yourself, for your organization. It's not about depending on the development programs, not depending on the government support packages or something, not depending on the membership packages even, because we are not membership organization, we are a civil society organization. And therefore, as a strategy, we are at the same time, we are kind of a management consult people. So we decided to set the key targets to increase the asset of this organization. And we learned a lot about the international development organizations like in America, UK, Japan. All they have very good assets. And then we said, okay, we have to find its income generation model, keep our organization in operation at least for 3 years. If it not, even if we cannot find any, if we cannot secure any funding sources. So that was the start of our financial sustainability policy. And of course, it was very easy actually to calculate the number, just, okay, this is our monthly cost, and then just multiply 36 months. And this amount will help us to secure our operation if we cannot find any donor opportunities. And then we started to work for this number. And that number actually reached out, achieved, thanks to all the stakeholders and partners. And then now we are very confident, actually, even in the COVID times, we were very confident to continue our operation in nonprofit sector, in serving our young entrepreneurs.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. Like chasing that number is sounded like more of a salesman type approach, right? Both of us are in entrepreneurship sector, so we understand that having a sales target is very important and achieving that. And for you, it was something similar to that, right? For 3 years, this is the target you want to achieve, and this is the number. And these are multiple ways from which the entire team can achieve it. Well, that is quite amazing. So right now, I believe you are in a quite comfortable situation regarding in financial stability and everything. And it's a more of an evolving process. I believe at the end of 2023, you will have like new strategy and new targets to increase the stability, but right?
Definitely. And at the same time, it's a team play. It's not about like one person, one leadership play. It's about like we have 74 people in our organization. And that means 74 brains are working. And these all brains are all to achieve these targets. And of course, we are a nonprofit organization, and it's all for young people's livelihood improvement. It's not about like a profit organization, shareholder, dividend sharing or something. It's not like that. But at the same time, the strategy is very important, and to changing business model, aligning the business strategies we identified. It is very crucial activity in our organization. Because we found out that many NGOs in Mongolia, even they all ask us, how did you achieve this? And how can you do this? And they will please teach us, train us. But it's not about like one person decision making. It's not about one person's strategy. You have to play as a team and then play. And just before I mentioned that the foolish people go around, just find something. But you are very smart, but sitting one place, that's everybody will be out someday and you will be alone. so that is the secret of strategy.
can get it done. That is important. Like we can do all sorts of amazing planning in our head, probably in our drawing board. But if we don't start executing all this stuff, I believe majority of the ideas are worthless if we don't start implementing. So, having said that, what I have picked is that your team, like you have got a very diversified team, like team of 70%, a huge team. You have got an amazing leadership team as well. So, what are the strengths for development solution Mongolia that you believe are quite unique to only your organization?
The just we believe that everybody that development solutions has to be the pioneer in the new these fields. Actually, identify competitive advantages. It's even there's a huge competition in development programs, and we all try to find out like good funding opportunities and competing with other NGOs and international and local NGOs, and it's very similar. So we have to work at the center. We have to work our entrepreneurial mindset and the growth mindset. It's all about mindset as well. Just therefore, why I'm starting to talk about capacity building phase. It was very important. Like, just we have to learn to work all these brains in entrepreneurial mindset or growth mindset ways. And at the same time, we understood that we don't have to be up like government officers. So, I'm very excuse you, I don't know about this. But the public officers, it's very easy to find the money. So
Absolutely. And that makes them complacent. Okay, we have money.
Yeah, they have the money, and at least if we, for example, about us, if we don't pay income tax, they will come to us and fine us. It's easy for them. But about us, it's totally reverse. It's so.
Okay. So in that case, like the whole mindset of competitive advantage, like being the pioneer, doing something different from the other organization in your space, that has been inculcated in your organizational DNA, and that's been, I believe, communicated to each and every team member, and for which they are always thinking differently. And as you keep saying about the growth mindset, the problems happen. But whenever there is problem and whenever they are stuck, due to the organizational thought process, they know, okay, what are the possible solutions I have and how I can reach to that solution. So that's being like practiced from the top down approach and from the very beginning, since you invested in your capacity and the early stage of your organization. And that's awesome. So going ahead, you were celebrating your 15 years, and what is your big plan for next 5 years? Like, I can't go beyond 5 years because things are changing so rapidly. So what are your next big things for at least next 5 years?
So next, yes, it's very hard to say right now, and but the next 5 years is to continue this evolvement strategy, and but in this global situation, because Mongolia is a locked country, neighboring with two big giant countries, just China and Russia, and everyone knows what's happening in Russia and China. So we have to be a kind of a rocket to to fly over these countries to to travel around the world, and so it's very hard to go through these countries sometimes, But for Mongolians, it's free to access these countries. It's just joking. I'm sorry about this. And we are planning actually to take a part on a policy level initiatives to promote youth entrepreneur, youth population, to especially to help them to create a good infrastructure and environment to to establish their enterprises or to get a job in their private companies. And especially disabled youths are not well trained or educated in how to prepare their jobs to workplaces or something like that. So we are planning to move to that area. And at the same time, just before in the beginning, I mentioned about we are working on the solidarity economy research. It's about like how to operate with each other, and it's partnering and complementing each other on this income generation or livelihood improvement journeys. Many stakeholders, many partners, around us, but how to get in one goal, and it's very important. Of course, every organization, company has own vision, mission, but where we can cross to support all this big goal to promote its youth participation, and also like this strategy, the business models will be changed if there's something happens in the globally. Expecting so, and so it's very right now. Of course, we have our own strategy, but we cannot say this is a real perfect or real true strategy. So maybe that is another secret where we are very changeable, like a spring weather.
Yeah, I believe gone are those days where we can say, hey, what is your 5 years vision? What is your 10 years vision? So those days are gone, because right now, especially for last like 3 or 4 years, there's been COVID, the world is there, the technology is changing so rapidly, job losses. So climate change is like there. It has become a real issue where now with the layman people are talking about the whole stuff. So there are a lot of competing stuff are going on, which I believe makes us unable to do a 5-year planning and to stick to this. As you say, it is better to have a vision, but be very flexible about our approach, because we know what our goal is. But to achieve this, there can be thousands of different ways. So if one way we cannot achieve it, there are other ways. So that flexible mindset, even for organization leaders, will be very important. So yeah, that's I would say is like a very good learning for me. So right now, both of us are involved in two exciting assignments. One is the social and green entrepreneurship toolkit pilot, and another one was initiated by our YBA partner, IPE. It's a self-management thing. And I just, when I was reflecting on it, I thought that both of these have one common goal, is to how we can like turn our youth as a force for good, how we can enable them not only to serve them, but also to serve the community, by extension the country as well. So in your journey of 15 years, what do you think is the single biggest challenge for youth to get onto this kind of journey where they don't just want to support them, but also the community? What is the single biggest obstacle and how to overcome it, obviously?
That is integrity.
Okay.
Yeah. And the communities always expecting too much, but they are confused about what we can do. But at the same time, we have to show or present our capacity, our superpower, just to achieve this thing, what we promised. And but it's not achieved by all ourselves. It's all based on partnership with all stakeholders around us. Who can help us? Who can support us? Who can be consultant with us?
Mm.
So yeah, therefore it's a big, you know, it's a big world, you know,
Yeah.
to move this.
And I believe being part of Youth Business International has been quite a rewarding journey for us, because even I am sitting in Bangladesh, you are here in Mongolia, but we are having access to the global wealth of knowledge. At the same time, we are constantly able to communicate people from Japan, Hong Kong, like name it country. We are in a position to just reach out to someone and ask what is happening in your part of the world, and probably apply that knowledge in our local context. And that's, I believe, is a blessing itself. So yeah, and like, we started with your personal journey. I know you're very busy, so I'll end it here. I'll just like ask you a personal question. I know you have a like hobby of collecting maps, global maps. So,
I want sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, like right now, what are you up to? Like, what is the
Um,
next target?
yeah, my globe hobby started when I was a student, because I would like to discover unique things, and especially the world in the world, and what could be interesting historical background. So all my globes are in different languages. That is the uniqueness of my.
Yeah.
It's not about like historical background or antique, or I'm not for that. So right now I have 52 globes, and in English, Arabic, in Bengali, and Chinese, Russian, and so different languages. And wherever I travel the country, I try to find out the globe. This world globe means, at the same time, in my opinion, it shows the country's education and social uh, background, and even its just how this country gives importance for youth education. And because globe is a part of who is a tool for education. It's a very important tool for education to understand the world. So what's my next plan for this collection is, of course, to increase, to buy more wherever I find it. And but right now I don't have globes in the African languages. So yeah, so I hope I can find there. That would be the next challenge.
Yeah, that's your next treasure hunt. Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this is going to be the last question, but I promise this is the last question. So yeah. So I always have found you to be calm, very calm, and like in any kind of situation. Even in the most difficult situation, you have got an expression that says, "Hey, it's gonna be okay." So, what is like your suggestions for the organizational leaders? Uh, who I would say is getting a bit of insane due to all the changes that happening around their place, and probably who don't have that kind of strong support system, because not every organization will have that kind of support system. So what will be your suggestion for this kind of organizational leaders?
Hmm. Well, just just it's learning. It's you have to understand we are in a learning world, and if even we face with the big problems, even you know, just like you are not confident that you cannot pass the situation or something, you'll say, okay, it will be tomorrow, because you have tomorrow and to think about this. So just relax and just consider focus on all of this situation. But you don't have only one problem with this situation. You will have more problems tomorrow. You will have more challenges in further steps. Therefore, don't be stuck in one problem with one problem. So it will be okay.
Okay, so that's quite a mindset shift. That's quite a mindset shift that we need to have in our society as well as in our country. Because the reason I asked this question, probably uh, the discussion I have with different organizational leaders is mostly doom and gloom. Hey, the world is gonna be fixed. So one can have that. And as you said, problem is part of our life. Challenges will be part of our life. It's us who define the way we like face the problem, as well as what kind of lens we put it. That will be very important as part of the whole journey. So
Mm.
thank you, Pat. I mean, really, thanks a lot for making time. I know you were overwhelmingly busy, but all I can assure is that whatever experience you shared in just brief amount of time, that will be very important, not for me, but also for the niche audience that I have. And yeah, thank you very much.
Well, welcome. And I also appreciate your time and for this interview and great conversation. Yeah, nice to share all about our experiences and journeys for 15 years in our development solutions NGO in Mongolia. Yeah, and also I'm very happy to be friends with you and your Bangladeshi.
Pleasure. I hope we like visit each other's countries very soon.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So thank you. We'll catch up soon. Take care.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
thank you. Bye.